Um, let's see. How do you deal with being away from family and loved ones? What gets you through the day?
Well,
Most personal question.
you know, most days, quite honestly, I'm so busy that just getting done what needs to get done, kind of pushes me through. And you know, I hear from my boys. I get emails, although you know, they don't email like they used to. Previous deployments, I'd get emails, but emailing's kind of out and texting is in, but I don't have the ability to text, so I don't hear from them as often as I'd like. But I do get emails from them, and and just knowing that they're doing well. One's a junior in college and he's doing well. The other's a senior in high school, he's doing well. Just knowing that the boys are doing well is enough. And then I try about once a week to get a hold of them and talk to them and see how they're doing.
Okay. Has it been a long deployment for? I know it's been a year, but since you've been so busy, I know for me it's been. I look back and I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, I can't either. I keep thinking there's another 5 or 6 months left, and I almost wish there were when I look at all this stuff just to get out of here. But you know, it hasn't. It's gone by. It's gone by really fast. I say that after every tour. I've been, holy cow, I can't believe how quickly that went, which is a good thing. It means that we're busy, which is what you want to be when you're not with your family. So it has not seemed like a long deployment at all. There's been some long days, but there hasn't been a long month yet, because they all go by and you wonder where it went.
And it is November. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, what do you miss most about home?
Oh, I miss seeing my boys play sports. You know, there's only so many soccer games and so many whatever games that they're going to play before they graduate and head off to college and graduate from college. And so, you know, I miss seeing them at their school events and their sporting events and being there. But, you know, I talk to them and they keep me posted on how they're doing. But
Does your son play college ball
he
or high
does.
school
Now,
ball?
my oldest one plays soccer at Washington State University, and my youngest one is a co-captain on a soccer team in high school.
Oh, okay. What do you think you will remember the most about this deployment in particular?
The two things, the biggest thing I think I'll remember, and it was a bad day, but it shows what a great family the 25th Division has, is just the way everybody came together to help the soldiers from 17th Field Artillery after the IRAM attack at Loyalty. I mean, it was devastating and you know, really shook us up. I mean, it was just an ugly attack, but the way everybody reacted and quickly pulled together to get them back up and running and get them what they needed was amazing. I mean, it's what you'd expect, and it wasn't just our soldiers. It was, you know, USFI and the 20th Engineers providing resources. It was KBR showing up 2 hours after the attack, and it had nothing to do with money, just wanted to know what they could do. They surged assets out there to help build, you know, literally build new barracks under a concrete parking garage, a project that normally would have taken 3 or 4 months. I mean, a lot of electricians, carpenters, you know, we would have had to gone through this whole CSR process to let a contract, but they pulled it together in a matter of days and got everything done in 13 days. And again, I'm absolutely convinced, just knowing the leadership from KBR that showed up, that it had nothing to do with money. We would have paid them the same if it would have taken 2 months, but they got it done in 13 days because they knew that they needed to get it done to support the soldiers. So I'll always remember how everybody came together as a team and helped out the soldiers from 2-1, 17th Field Artillery. I think the other big piece that I'll remember is just watching this base, which when I was here last year had more than 30,000 people on it, watching our plan to go from this extremely large base, 27-mile perimeter, to slowly closing pieces of the base over time to where we were just going to be left with Camp Victory, East and West Liberty, and Steeler. And you know, that was our plan from December. We kind of adjusted the plan that we inherited from the 1st Armored Division. We went to this, what we called the thin and consolidate, to where we'd ultimately end up by October with what we called the Crescent, and just those areas on this part of the base. And there were a lot of challenges to get there. Working with the governor of Iraq, getting people to sign, getting government agencies to sign for those other parcels of land, doing the joint inventories, adjusting our security. but we reached it, and we reached it within the timeline that we'd hoped to. And you know, driving over to Camp Victory now and looking at that completely deserted, and realizing that we were able to do that. I mean, at one time, just Camp Victory alone had the entire USFI headquarters there, and then, you know, having our footprint consolidated to the Liberties here in East and West Liberty, it's been pretty satisfying to see that plan that we've been working on for over a year, you know, really come together here in the last month.
Compared to your other deployments, do you see this one as more special than those?
No, I mean, they've all been special. You know, the first deployment I had, we were in a very volatile area up near Mosul. There were markets you just couldn't go to, the markets that were closed. There were constant attacks. We were going into the first Iraqi elections in January of 2005, and so that was a hugely significant time, because we were able to start to develop the Iraqi Security Forces, put them in the lead. They actually had the lead for the elections. Those elections, while probably not as important as the 2009 elections, which were Iraq's first free elections that they ran, were an important first step. If those hadn't taken place, then the 2009 elections might not have taken place. So it was an important first step. And again, the Iraqi Security Forces we started to build then were not nearly as good as they are now in 2011, but it was that important first step. So that was a very significant time. Then I was here 2009, 2010, and again, that was the whole lead up to the first major elections in 2009. So all of that was important, but I think what is more significant about this deployment than previous deployments was, you know, what we were doing in 2004 and 2005, other units had been doing in 2003, 4, and 5, continued to do in 2006. And so there were a lot of units doing that over time, but there's only one division that is going to close this out. And there's only one division that's going to be remembered as the division that did what many folks said couldn't be done, and that was to, you know, professionally, responsibly draw down 9 years of war and meet our deadline of 31 December, while simultaneously setting up OSCI and Department of State for success. So, I mean, this one is special. They've all been special, but I think in some ways this one may stand out.